Welcome back, folks, to our Fill Your Cuppa Support Together podcast. This is season 3, episode 18. I am your host, Mrs. O, and on my right, I have Una Mary Leonard.
Hello.
And on my left, I've got a very special guest, and Mrs. Mairead McCaffery.
Good morning.
You're very welcome,
You're
Mairead.
very, very welcome, Mairead.
No, it's lovely to be here. Thank you so
This
much.
is your first podcast, am I right?
My very first podcast. I finally got here.
I know.
Deadly.
So Mairead was our sponsor for the podcast last year, and we tried to get her in for a wee podcast then, but she wasn't ready.
Wasn't my time.
No, it wasn't her time, but she's coming on now. Yeah, she's here. It's going to be grand. It's just a conversation.
I know he's well enough now. So
Yes.
Over a cuppa.
Yes,
And-
lovely.
cuppa,
Thank you.
and that's
The
it.
tea.
So Maria, tell me a wee bit about yourself and how you got to know Support Together.
So as you rightly said, I'm Mairead and I'm the owner of Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health here in Noma, whereby I offer private pregnancy scans to women and couples and family if they want. Reflexology, and delighted that we've just announced that we will be running antenatal education classes and hypnobirthing programs.
I've seen that. It was
Absolutely
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. Plus, we're moving into a new sort of expansion, if you like. So we're flat out getting that ready. But I'm also a midwife in the NHS, and that is how I came to know about yourselves. So part of my role at the time was organising an education programme for midwives, and I wanted to invite an external organisation in
Yeah.
to come and tell us what sort of is offered for women out in the community. And I spoke to my colleague then and good friend now, Ita, who you know,
Yeah.
who said, you have to contact Support Together, they're your girls. So I looked into you and I thought, absolutely. Because then we had no perinatal mental health team.
Yeah.
That's right.
And there was nothing really else out there. And I thought, no, we need to know about what it is you do, how the women get on with you, and just advise midwives so we could signpost them.
Yeah.
And I think it went down really well. I know you'll remember coming
I was
in.
a wee bit terrified. I think it's because I'm coming in till, I suppose, the NHS. It's out of my comfort zone. You know, I'm so used to the voluntary and community sector. But you were amazing. You welcomed me. And then I would have known Brenda also. So it was, and the midwives were very, very attentive. There was a lot of students in the room. And I was able to come in from the lived experience and just talk about
Your
antenatal
journey.
and postnatal depression and anxiety, and the journey and the tale of PND, and how then just maybe they speak to a mummy, how they present themselves when they're speaking to a mum, you know, the words that we use and stuff like that. So it was lovely, and you got me back again, I think.
I think we did
Just
another
was
time,
twice,
and then we
yeah.
were trying for another one, but then COVID obviously
COVID.
came and everything. But it has opened an awareness
Yes.
in the trust, and it's lovely to see, you know, that midwives are getting it out there to women that they're looking after.
They definitely are. And I think also us doing the lip sync, we had a group of
team.
they won it.
They won it.
Skittish, they won it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that relationship building, you know, we'd often get some of them direct line ringing in to look for advice regarding a mummy, even though at the minute our books are closed, that's not going to be a forever, and that wasn't our always, but we're still able to talk, to, you know, have that conversation at antenatal stage with some mums to be, which is, there's that networking. It's invaluable.
Yeah. And I suppose we know now the importance of the early intervention.
Massively.
So we're getting in there. So that's Mairead the midwife, but what about Mairead the mummy? Because you are a mummy.
I am a mummy. I'm
And
a
a wife.
mummy of 4 and a wife. So I have 4 girls. So
Busy house.
very busy house because they range from 3 to 17. So we're still in the toddler stage and we're in the teenage years. And I was just telling Una there before we come on, I have a daughter who's just passed her driving test. So that's a whole new worry.
She's never experienced
I've
that
never-
worry.
No,
It's a different
never.
worry.
I suppose, would you put that worry back to being whenever you were a first time mum? Is that something similar? Like
Something similar, the
home?
unknown, yeah. But at least as a mum, I could sort of control that to
Yeah.
a certain extent. And I had loads of support around me, whereas this time she's out there now.
Yeah.
I can't really hold her. I have to just let her go. And
But your
she's
heart
doing
is now
brilliant.
in a
She's doing
car.
brilliant.
She's a part of your heart.
Yeah.
And now you're entrusting her out in the roads. And
Yeah.
my word, it is scary stuff. Like,
So
a whole new
you've been through that,
level.
Una. And you another one going the same
but I said,
direction.
Mairead, like, fair play, she's doing it right, you know, getting her on them roads,
Yes.
getting her to drive to school. As I was nearly going to Caitlin, oh no, here's all right now, no. I just do them wee journeys to Oma.
Aye.
You have to pull the plaster off. It's so
Yeah.
important. It's not easy.
I held her a bit now, I have to say. I have to admit, she passed her test 2 weeks ago and today's the first time she's out on her own, but she's so good. It's just...
And was she
just the
come
awareness.
on ahead and Doma herself this morning? Even you're
Tell her
wrong.
where she
Golly.
went. Ballygolly. The A5.
That's why I held her a wee bit,
Yeah.
but no bothered her.
Well, Oh my.
But I did say, I was saying to my husband and my mum, like, this is, the feeling that your body goes through, that gut wrenching here, the heart beating, the shaking, proper anxiety. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm even getting emotional talking about it, but never felt that way before. It was a completely new worry. Like, so I totally get, like, those feelings can creep in anytime, anytime.
So your journey through motherhood was good?
It was good. Yeah, I can't really complain. So I had 2 before I was a midwife. So completely green. I'm not going to lie. So just kind of went with it. And then I did my midwifery and we had the other 2 then. So a lot more educated myself and a far better experience. So I think that's what's driving the antenatal education side of it. And that reflexology. I did start investing in reflexology for myself, not with the first 2. But with the second 2, because I needed me time.
Funny, that was going to be my next question. Tell me a bit more about clarity and how you ended up getting into it. So this is perfect.
The start of it. So started reflexology in my 3rd pregnancy. Absolutely loved it. Just needed that hour and a half out, calm the mind, reset myself, that reset button. And getting your feet done is just lovely. I just find it so relaxing. And I had a lovely labour, I have to say. I actually enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh.
I know, and I do tell women that you can enjoy it. And again, with the 4th one, so I started reflexology with Angel Sanctuary in Greencastle. They're absolutely fabulous. They're more energetic and healing part of it as well.
Is that the lady Emer?
Josephine.
Oh,
Josephine. Absolute lady. Oh, she's amazing what she does. So a few of our midwives have trained with her actually, and I would highly recommend her. So went with her before I got pregnant with Isla, our last one. And I remember sitting there thinking, right, I want another baby. And we were sitting in the class. I kid you not. She was like, somebody's going to have a baby here. And I was actually pregnant and didn't realise it at the time.
Lovely.
But so once I'd done that, then I thought, no, other mummies need to experience this. And they need it out. They need that hour and a half to themselves just to reset the button, calm the hormones, get the body prepared. And a lot of them are having better experiences, thankfully.
But the fact that you have the lived experience of how well it works, that's massive.
That's the difference.
And you'll design the room around that. Yeah. As you say, you're moving quarters or such, or headquarters.
Just changing rooms. So we're in the same premises, but we're moving
you can throw a stone
around. Yes.
Still, you have arranged that around your experiences of where you wanted to grow and spaces for mummies to come and do
more like
antenatal class.
So even like redecorating it from the start.
Yeah.
Real dark colours in the treatment room, just really cocoon them in so they feel snug.
Yeah.
Safe.
Love it.
Yeah,
they're not going to leave the room.
No, they aren't. You're going to get to go.
You could get us lying up there.
These are more than welcome. You do need to come out. Well, you were out. You were on the bed.
We need to go and see the new place.
I know.
100%. I'll get you out. Yeah,
definitely.
Have you out.
So tell me a wee bit more about Clarity and what services that you offer. I know we would have a fair idea because we worked with you, but for the listeners out there that's hopefully tune in for our podcast.
Yep. So reflexology was the first and foremost, and it's open to everybody. It's I just want to say it's not just for pregnancy. Yeah. So even for women, that have had their babies and just want that time out, or their partners. Yeah. I've had a few men in as well, which is lovely. So they do come in a wee bit, don't know what's going on here, but actually when you get them up and as soon as you get your hands on their feet, you just see them.
Shoulders come down.
This is okay.
Yeah.
So it's open to everybody, children and everything as well.
Brilliant.
Oh, you see, I didn't know that part of that. Because Clarity straight away, because that's how we got connected, was the scanning.
The women. Yeah.
That's fair. That is brilliant. Okay. Yeah. That's so good to know.
Have couples, with children and babies, I would also advise them as well, or do them little demo videos and send them on to them if they want to try it first rather than bringing them out. So it is open to everybody. And I don't know, it sounds so strange, but I kept thinking, I just kept seeing scan images in my head. It was like a voice saying to me, you need to offer this, you need to offer this. And I just spoke to my husband, who thankfully for him, he was a big drive and that I have to give him the credit.
Yeah.
There you go, Barry.
Barry. That's right.
And he says, just go for it. Now, it was nerve-wracking. It's a big task to take on yourself because you're so isolated when you're there by yourself.
Yeah.
But just with the experience and everything as well, I thought, no, I'm confident in what I'm doing. Why not?
Yeah.
So started private scanning. So it's anything from early reassurance from 6-7 weeks onwards, just to confirm a pregnancy for most women, who unfortunately maybe have had previous miscarriages, and maybe their anxiety is a wee bit raised or they're just, they just want that wee reassurance. Everything's okay at the minute. And they're good 25 half-hour appointments. So it's not just in and out with me, scan on, there it is, off you go. It's how are you feeling? How's the pregnancy going? Using very open-ended questions to try and get them to actually
they're held and heard.
Speak, about what they're feeling. And then we just range on from gender scans, which are fun. I do love them. I enjoy them. and 4D scans, which are just magical. And I think you saw one whenever you were out.
Even some of your posts that you have on Facebook, when you see the 4D scan and then you see the actual baby and you're sitting thinking, oh my God.
Identical.
Because people used to have to travel to Belfast for all that. It was wonderful. This is on our doorstep.
Yeah.
And
So
for
impressed.
the ruralness of where we all live, like, it's brilliant.
And I think it's nice as well that they're getting a midwife at the other side of it, you know, because there's lots of people out there that can do courses and do a scan, but, you know, with my background and knowledge as well.
Oh, definitely.
So because I suppose for me, I'm sitting thinking, right, well, as you said, it's an isolated part, so you're there in the room by yourself with with the mommy and the partner. And what happens if you find that there's something wrong? Like the fear, and I suppose you're able to reassure them because maybe you might have a bit of experience, your education and all behind it, rather than, because I know different times I'd have been in the hospital and, oh, we can't see us here, I'm going to bring you back. Was that mean, oh, well, no, the midwife will have to speak to you or the doctor will speak to the air. Like,
you're maybe escorted to another room.
So then that's when you're overthinking, whereas if you're given the reassurance there and then, it definitely does help.
It's definitely the hard part of it, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Your heart does race for them before I even speak, and you have to be as sure as you can be before you even start. So it is you have to do a really good scan, you know, and get really good views. And if it is taking a while, I'll just say to them, look, I'm just checking my images here. Like, I will even speak to them during it while I'm doing it.
So it's not silence.
So it's not silence. And I think that's the feedback from the mummies, you know, that have come in with a previous history. It was just silence, and then I'm just going to step out and get someone else to come and speak to you.
And then
you can't do that, and you're just thinking, what's wrong? Somebody communicate with me here.
Yeah.
So I will communicate with them, and I can't diagnose. That's the problem. No. So you will always need 2 opinions to diagnose, and I will tell them that before I even bring them into the scan room. So I prepare them. And
so you're informing,
I think
and
a pre-brief for psychological safety is a big thing.
Very good. Yeah.
So we'll have that conversation before we go in, what to expect. This is what we're going to do. If I'm not seeing what I'm used to seeing, is the way I would sort of word it.
Yeah.
And talk them through that. And then I'll bring them in and do the scan. If I'm nearly sure, I do point out, you know, what I should be seeing. And then I point out what I am seeing and saying, in my opinion, this is what I think we are, but I'm going to have to send you into the NHS. At the minute, we don't have a direct referral system in, so hopefully that'll change in time. Yeah. But I will document everything and, you know, advise them who to ring, give them contact numbers, what to say. But unfortunately, they have to self-refer themselves.
But you're empowering them before they even go.
Yeah, and you're giving them the space to kind of wrap their own heads around it as well.
And helping them with the language even. I remember often just I didn't have the words. And even if you're, you know, they understand. Exactly. And that's where the bonus is.
Yeah, definitely.
And 100%. If you're not sure, you know, sometimes women come and period dates are period dates. No one's ever the same.
Exactly.
They could be a wee bit early. So if I think, look, I'm happy enough, I'm just not seeing what I should be, I will bring them back complimentary, free of charge, and rescan them again, because I know they'll be worried. I'm definitely worried. I'll not settle myself until I know they're well. But if I think it's pretty obvious, I will send them in. Yeah. But if it's maybe possibly early, I will bring them back. And I think that's so important. They need a follow-up.
This is Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast. And we couldn't bring the podcast to you today without the support of Supreme Motors. Whether you're looking for something affordable or a top-tier option, Supreme have the perfect car for you, along with a commitment to exceptional care at all times. Visit suprememotors.co.uk.
Oh yeah, you're
very
much so.
You're seeing the human.
Yep.
Yeah.
And your clients or your mummies coming in aren't just a number to you.
No.
It's a human, and that there's, I suppose, that's your service out from the rest.
But that's a privileged position to be in. Yeah. Ensuring that you can slow time down a bit. Because often when we're in different industries, it is a lot, we're bringing a lot in, and that's the system. You know, you're choosing you have 3 mummies maybe that you see, or 3 ladies.
It's
and
small
you space
sections.
that out.
Yeah,
exactly.
You space it out. And if you run over, you run over.
Yeah.
I'd rather give her the time.
Yeah.
I would never rush anybody out the door.
No.
But what you said struck a word with continuity. I love that. It's only me that will ever scan them. I don't have anybody working for me, and I don't think I could hand that over just yet.
No, it's early stages, Mairead.
This is the 5th baby of our house, you know.
I know.
And what you support together is my 3rd.
It is the 5th baby. Is that the end of it, or is it going to be any more?
No, that's the end of
it. But it is. She's so right. Like the way I've watched support together grow.
So you know what it is.
Totally.
You have to nurture it and make sure it's well looked after.
And time. I keep going back to time. But what I mean is, when you enter into the business, like yourself, you have entered in with pure passion. You've seen a need in the market. You know you have the expertise to be able to provide that. You have a husband, very fortunate, who's championing you on. You're able to have your premises near your home, so you're not too far away from your kids. Your daughters You have a great, they love what you do. They're part of it because it is.
Emma is, so
Yeah.
the girls the women will know Emma. Emma sometimes will do front of house for me, just if it is sort of busy, just to reassure them and know that there's somebody there. And she loves it, and it's a great experience for her.
Brilliant.
And she's so good with the mummies
It's them
too.
being a part of that, and they don't see that, oh, mummy's out there again. Do you know, they understand my mum's out there and she's delivering a service to the community. And that's exactly like with what I went through with support. When you bring them along with you in the journey, they feel a real passion and a love for what you're doing. And you're actually educating them at a very young age.
Oh, massively.
Which is a privileged position to be into.
And you have 4 girls. Like,
4
it's
girls.
amazing. It's definitely something that you should be so proud of.
Yeah. No, I really am. Like, and even for them, you know, if you want to do something, don't question yourself. If it feels right, do it.
But when you have the right people around you, the right environment, God, do you know, it's a bit the way we say plant the seed. There's no point planting the seed and then throwing bloody weed killer over it, or the environment that you're trying it to grow in is toxin. It's not often going to work. So having that tribe around you and people going, yes, here, go and try it out here, Mairead. But we often get imposter syndrome. We talk about this often.
I was going to say, probably the only person throwing weed killer over it is probably myself going out at the start. It's like, can I do this? You know, because you compared it to Belfast, like big corporate clinics, you know, that have been doing this for years, have clinics popped up everywhere. You know, can I go out on my own as a midwife?
Yes, you can.
Why can I not? And he was very much, yes, you can.
But
Good
you
man, Barry.
started lovely.
Like
no,
Barry.
but you did. You started as your reflexology. Is that right?
Small steps, yes.
You went, and then you've seen then from the women coming into to the room, lying in that bed and what they're talking about, and then seeing the gap. Eventually, you just didn't go in and go, I'm going to do this because I can. Frig it. You grew.
Yeah.
Your
Because
business
I
grew
listened to
within
them.
exactly what we do.
Yeah.
We're growing.
And you mightn't be done yet. You could be more grow. I suppose you've moved on now.
Just went to the antenatals.
Yeah, so then
But
like, there's
again, it's
always
listening to
something.
the women, because I do laugh. I remember you get some weird questions, you know, it's so lovely. Some wonderful requests, should I say, but some of which I'm not allowed to do. So I just laugh and go, I wish I could, but
no.
But they did say to me, you should open up a Q&A session, which I thought was a good idea as well. You know,
definitely,
just
Mairead.
access, because we don't know where to go or who to ask. So, but I would always say to my women, do you hear me now?
I know.
You're
We take pride on them and you champion them on, and that's one. Yeah, it's not about knocking a crown off another woman's head and telling everybody else it's crooked. It's about, right, let's do this together. How can I support you?
Yeah.
And you
Where
definitely
can
do
I
that.
direct you to?
I know that we, I really got to know you through the Amy Fund. So we had a mummy that did a lot of fundraising for us through Support Together, and she would have went to yourself for the scanning, and she raised over £5,000. And we have it named as the Amy Fund, and we have that down now, and it's for us to provide a service for mummies coming in through our doors that have had history of miscarriage or want for reassurance scanning and down the line of what it is. So that's how we have it for you. And I suppose the feedback we're getting back from the mummies is that they're getting the reassurance, they're being listened to, they're being held well, and that feedback and that how that's the difference it's making for them mummies is amazing.
It's night and day. You know, that reassurance, that, and them feeling that they haven't lost sense of control and that they're able to ask them questions. There's no silly questions.
Absolutely not.
You know, and it's their feelings are important.
Yeah.
And when they're bringing the partner, and often it could be bringing their son or daughter, or it could be bringing in the granny, you know, and that's what you open that till as well. And the lovely thing is they go in one door, but they also come out another.
Yeah, that was a very big priority for me from the outset. And as you rightly said, you know, bring in your family, because you don't get to do that in the NHS. It's in and out sometimes. So it is busy. They have a lot of work to
And
do,
I understand
100%.
that.
But this is why it's different. You know, you do still get messages. Can I bring my little one who's, say, only 2? Absolutely. We've little snacks, sweets. Sorry about the Haribos. And toy basket and everything, you know. And like you rightly say, they'll come in through reception. I'll sit and talk to them. We'll bring them through. I'm so OCD nearly. I lock the door just in case somebody comes to come on.
But that's
through
really
the scanner.
important,
And
That's
it's
your privacy. That's where you
it's
know it's your
private,
space. Yeah.
And I know we can't be disturbed. And then they'll go on out the side door then, so they don't have to come back out through reception.
But it is a precious time. It's a precious time for that mum. And often, and we would know that from our line of work, a lot of people don't enjoy being pregnant. They don't. Some people find antenatally it's scary. They're sick. They're starting to not know who they are anymore. Their hormones are flying. But even coming and having that cocoon space and maybe trying to connect with the baby.
Yes.
And having that time even for the partners to have that time to connect. I know that's when my husband, when we were, pregnant with Caitlin, first time baby, he did, I seen you getting bigger, I seen this, but whenever the scanning took place, and as you say, it was in and out, and that's because there's so many other people coming in. I respect that. But he would say, oh my word, we used to call it the peanut. Oh, the wee peanut's there. Plus my bump looked like a bucking peanut too. But the wee peanut, oh, Una. So and then the boom, 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 like the galloping horse. Yeah, but you're hurling your breath. I mean, I would have went till I heard, and I was watching. You're going to find everybody's watching you. Do you know what I mean? To see your express, you are hurling everything in. But the thing you need to do in there is breathe, because then you'll get a better.
But that's what I mean. If you ask any of our women, the first thing I'll do is say, I know it sounds so obvious, but I'm just going to get you to take a deep breath in before we start. Just breathe it out and relax into it. And you do see them starting to.
Because I was like,
it's like a home from home.
I know, because you're waiting. It's that dread, and then that connection. It's the connection then till from the. There's life growing in here, and it's for your partner, or if it is your son or daughter. And we've had people who've lost a daughter or son, and they might have another child at the house, and they want them involved at the early stages, rather than, if it could be a boy and maybe they've lost a boy, a son, or they've lost a daughter, and then they can start when you do the scan, the gender. Some people do that for different reasons. Yeah. It's not because of the trend.
No.
Do you get what I mean? Yes, people will do that because it's the trend. There's probably new trends out there, and that's okay. And there's people who choose not to do that. I didn't. But there's also people need to do it for their mental well-being.
It's definitely preparation, isn't it? It's prep. Yeah.
And I've seen different avenues from that, even from family experience. Somebody who their daughter died at 22 months old, and then they end up being pregnant, and they needed to know, because it was them prepare. They end up was a boy, but for them to prepare. So there's different, and you're getting different emotions coming into that room, Mairead. Yeah. Do you know you're getting people so excited, or you're getting people hesitated, and they could be leaving in a different way than they've come in.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And you might have two, say, clients back to back, two completely different experiences.
Completely.
And that's what's so important. And that's what's important to me. Read the room. So read the energy as soon as they come in. Because you don't want to go like, oh, hey, welcome. No.
They mightn't be congratulating themselves because they could be terrified.
How do you protect yourself?
Oh, it's ticking time. Yeah, it is hard. It is hard. And I think we've had this conversation before as well.
It's great because we would link in, because we're women that are holding women. Yeah. And there's other women out there too. And it's great having that wee network and sharing them deep to protect ourselves.
So I'm very lucky. I do have Una and one of the other girls. Like, we do have a wee group, and we would touch base. It's very hard to switch off, I'm not going to lie, because I'm invested. That's just who I am. So I'll apologise for that, or not apologise, but it's just, it can be hard. So some stories will definitely hold you a wee bit longer than others. But I mean, it's human.
You're a human being.
And someone will even tell you, I will message them, say a couple of days later or something, go, how did you go? Because I can't stop thinking about them, and what their outcomes are. Especially you were asking about maybe when you're delivering possibly bad news.
Yes,
I'll not settle myself until I follow them up and see how they are. So you do hold on to some more than others. So that, but I am still learning. I'm not going to lie.
I suppose that's the same as us. It's a muscle you have to grow. But I suppose we're lucky. I'm lucky because we have each other. We have Una, we have Gemma, we have Caroline, we have a team, and whereas you're really kind of isolated by yourself. So and then it's fantastic that you have
a network.
Yeah.
That's all new. Like, it's new. Yeah. The network's new that we're working on. And if it just stays with the three of us, that's all right. And if it doesn't, if it grows, it grows. But what it is bringing them wee conversations. Do you know how to protect me? I'm fighting things a wee bit overwhelming. Yeah. Or here, I'm feeling nothing at the minute. I'm as numb. Like, that's another thing. You could end up becoming that exposed to stuff that you start then feeling very numb.
Aye. But it's brilliant that that us as women know that we have to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Because there was a stage when I walked in to support the girl, I wouldn't have even thought of that. No. I was in there like a bucking superhero. I didn't even, that's 15 years ago. and with my experience, and I don't get it right all the time, and that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm bloody well human.
Exactly.
And there's you're in a caring industry, you walked into that industry. Like, I'm going to have to ask the question, maybe you have it down, but how the hell do you do all this with 4 kids?
I know.
Like, Maria,
That is my most frequent asking question.
She's got a superwoman
no, but seriously,
costume.
I admire you, you know.
I don't know is probably the answer to that, because obviously my priority would be home. Obviously, I know that, and I try, and I do reduce my hours in the clinic. But you know, running a business, anybody out there with their own business will know this. It doesn't just stop when you're in and out of the clinic.
No,
there's orders to be done, accounts to be done.
The bloody socials have to be
Socials,
done.
socials. Una has been a mentor.
No, I'm not. You could probably mentor me now with that. You're amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot behind the scenes as well. And then obviously I do still work in the NHS, so I'm juggling that.
Yeah.
I was doing my masters. I was telling you, we're doing my masters at the minute.
I go and throw the masters in the middle of it all.
What's that on?
Just advanced midwifery practice, just to hear me.
Get rid of the just, please.
Yeah, so if 2 years done, I've 1 more year to do. I just need to keep going and get it done.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the adrenaline rush that you get once you hit that submit button, you're like, thankfully.
I know.
Only for family, Ciara. Like obviously my husband, he's very good. Like he will just come in the evenings, you know, and look after the house, as I say. And then my mum, I have to mention my own mum. So I'm very blessed to have her. We'd be absolutely lost without her, and nothing's a bother. Like she would drop anything if I asked her to, and I try not to. We do try and manage a bit, but it's just time management, and it'll come in time.
But that's your village.
That's your village, right? Yeah, sure.
And that's like a lot of people wouldn't even ask. You know, because I'd have been stubborn or just don't want to bother anybody.
Yeah.
And the bother was then on me. It ended up being deteriorating. So that's great that your mum wants to do it. She wants to be involved. End of the day, your husband is the father of the children. You know, so it's about them. It's partnership work, isn't it, really? And I call it tag an odd time. Because sometimes I might have to help.
You come in and he goes, and he comes in and you go. Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then your older daughter's very good.
Oh, they're excellent. Like they're a big help.
Tune in next week for part 2.
This was Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, with me, Mrs. O, Ciara O'Gowan, my co-hosts Una Leonard and Gemma Castine. The podcast today was brought to you with thanks to our sponsor Supreme Motors NI and produced by 9874 Creative.